Hi friends, I hope you guys are doing well. Today I wanted to do a super cool toned berry fall look. Super glam, super 2016 old school makeup style. Sometimes, you just gotta go there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you guys will get ready with me, grab your makeup brushes, and let's just go ahead and get glam and have some fun with makeup. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. If you know, you know. This was my childhood. I'm such a baby though when it comes to scary movies. This is like as scary as I can go. Hocus Pocus is the scariest I can go. Anything else and I'm like, nope. I'll have nightmares for a week. So I'm just going to rehydrate my face. I'm gonna go in with my Neutrogena Radiant Setting Spray. This is more of a priming spray. The first couple squirts of this are a little aggressive, but then the mist evens out and it gets more fine. Before that fully sets down, I'm going to go in with my NYX Plump Right Back primer. This is a gripping primer, but it's very hydrating. My skin is getting a lot of little like dry, flaky patches. So we need all the moisture. I'm actually going to be a little extra. We're going super glam today, so I'm going to be a little extra and double prime. I'm going to go in with a color corrector. This is the Hero Rescue Balm Color Correcting Green Cream. I'm just going to basically apply this where I have the most redness, which is on my nose. I love this product. It's so lightweight. It basically blends in like a lotion, but you can see, I feel like it really does tone down the redness. I don't know if you can tell a difference on camera, but in person, I can tell a difference. The reason why I did take this extra step of color correcting is because the foundation we're going to be using is more on the light coverage side. The Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. It's more of a skin tint. I haven't used it in a while and it's very hydrating, which my skin needs right now, but it doesn't give the most coverage. So that's why we did go in with the color corrector first. I'm mixing two shades, 50 medium tan with 20 light. And you've probably seen it, but it's that really serum-y skin tint with the little pigment bubbles in it, and I'm just sort of mixing it together. This product doesn't mix the best, so it's difficult to get the perfect shade for me at this point because for some reason it just doesn't want to like mix fully, but I love the way it looks on the skin. It literally feels like I'm just putting water on right now. I like to blend it out on the back of my hand to burst the little pigment beads before I apply it to my skin. And I'm just going to take whatever's left on the back of my hand with my little Real Techniques brush and press it into the skin. It's not going to give you full coverage, but it looks so healthy and natural on the skin. It evens everything out. I think it looks really beautiful. Anything that we feel like we need to give a bit more coverage to, we can just do that with concealer. I haven't worn this Covergirl skin tint in a while and I forgot how beautiful it looks on the skin. It's pretty much undetectable. It's like your skin but better. It's really good. For concealer, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. I'm mixing two shades, C4 and C1. Just covering up any discoloration. And then we'll go in on the under eyes because I did not sleep well last night. So we need some help. I'm just going to take a little bit of C1 because I don't want anything too bright. I like to take some between the brows and down the center of my nose. I'm going to leave the concealer on the perimeter of my face a little bit darker just to not highlight that discoloration. And I'm going to take this little Real Techniques brush to pat that in. I feel like this concealer is so underrated. It gives beautiful medium coverage and just like the name would suggest, a soft matte finish. So it's very smoothing on the skin. The only thing I don't particularly love about this concealer is the shades. I find them all to be very pink, or at least the ones I've tried. So I wish they would expand the shade range a bit. I do want to go in with a liquid bronzer today. This is the Conceal and Perfect Liquid Contour from Milani. I have the shade 01 Honey. Honey, honey, honey. Speaking of honey, I always see these recipes for natural flu and sickness remedies that usually always contain honey because it just has so many natural antibiotics? I don't know. I know it's really great at fighting infection. It's always some mixture of honey, ginger, maybe some turmeric, maybe garlic, apple cider vinegar, you know, all the healthy stuff, lemon. So I always have the intention of making some sort of potion for my family once we head into the fall, winter, colder months. But I always forget. And then by the time we're all sick, it's like too late to make it. So I'm like, crap. I need to be better at planning ahead and preparing, because I would like to have my own herbal remedies. Because, you know, I'm not against taking Dayquil, Tylenol, you know, regular medicine, but it is nice to go back to nature if you can. I would think that's better for your body in the long run. So I'm gonna try, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. If you do have any flu balm, natural herbal remedies, let me know and I'll try it out. I'm just taking some to slightly, not really contour my nose, but sort of. I like to give myself a little of a button nose. I think it just looks cute. I'm gonna set my T-zone with my e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder, one of my faves. If you have not tried this powder yet, you need to. It's one of those powders that I feel looks good on everyone. If you have extremely oily skin, I'm not sure how this would work for you, but it's a lifesaver for us dry skin gals because it sets your makeup, but it retains that natural luminosity of your skin, but it's not glittery, sparkly. It's not overly glowy. I don't know, there's something about it that is just really beautiful. Especially if you have mature skin, I think you would really enjoy this. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, just where I have the largest pores to really blur out that area. Then I'm gonna take a slightly larger brush just to set the rest of my face, because we are gonna be going with powder products. So I'm gonna lock it down with powder just to make sure it stays in place all day long. I'm gonna take my NYX Buttermelt bronzer in the shade Buttercup. I believe this is the lightest shade. Oh, this smells like a dream. It smells so good. Oh gosh, I love it. This is a really pigmented bronzer, so less is more. Go in with a little bit at a time. But because we're going for a more cool-toned look overall today, I wanted to use this bronzer because it does have a bit of a rosy undertone, which I feel will just complement the cool tones we're going to be going in with on the eyes and lips. It blends so easily, and it has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's not sheeny, but it's not a flat matte bronzer. I do like my bronzers to have a little bit of glow, and this one just looks so healthy and natural on the skin. See, if you go in with too much, it's a little much, but it does blend. I'm just gonna take whatever's left on the brush and pat it through the center of my face. Just gonna go around the edges with my powder brush just to make sure there's no harsh lines. We're gonna stick with the Buttermelt family, and we're gonna go with the NYX Buttermelt blush. I have the shade For the Butta, which is a really pretty purpley mauve tone. Again, these are very pigmented, so I'm a little scared, not gonna lie. I'm gonna go in with a really loose, fluffy brush, because if I go in with a dense brush, we're gonna be in trouble. Try to evenly coat the brush and then tap off the excess, and then slowly, do you see that? We already got a lot. I do like that it has more pigment for deeper skin tones. I think that's really useful and great. These I wouldn't necessarily say are the most beginner-friendly blushes because of that high pigment, so just beware. I'm gonna again take the brush that I was using with my powder. It doesn't have anything really left on it, but I'm just going around the edges. I want it to be diffused around the edges and then the pop to be in the center. Just gonna take a fluffy, small, like eyeshadow brush to go through the center of my face, just to connect the two cheeks. But I don't want to go in with a big brush because then I feel like I'm just gonna get a lot of color everywhere. For highlight, I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Highlighter in the shade 05 Icy Gold. I really like this highlighter because it looks super intense and like white and stark in the pan, but it has a little bit of a gold undertone, so it doesn't look super icy on the skin. Somehow it still looks pretty natural on my skin tone, at least. Like, do you see? It doesn't look white on the skin at all. Goldish undertone, but it's not overly gold. think it's really pretty. For lips, I want to go in with one of these lifter liners from Maybelline. I have two shades that I'm thinking of. Big Lift or On It. This is On It. It's a bit more brown, whereas Big Lift has a bit more mauviness to it. And then I think we're going to go over that with the Milani Hydrating Lip Stain in Rose Rising. This one's actually a bit more warm. Maybe we won't go with that. We also have the Makeup Revolution Satin Allure Lipstick in Wifey Dusky Pink. That one's a bit more cool toned. Yeah, maybe we'll do this and this. These liners are so creamy, but they actually set down and wear a really long time on the lips. They remind me a lot of the new Fenty Beauty Traced Out lip liners. I love these too, but if you don't want to splurge on the Fenty, the Maybelline are really similar in consistency and in how long they wear. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution Satin Allure lipstick in Wifey Dusky Pink. Love that lip combo. And I really love these lipsticks from Makeup Revolution because they're matte, but they're not drying. They're really smoothing on the lips. They feel really pillowy and cloud-like. Highly recommend this formula. I'm gonna take my Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer in the shade 1. Just gonna quickly prime the eyes and then we will do the Glam Cool Toned Eyeshadow Moment. Eyes are primed, zoomed in. We're gonna go back with an oldie but a goodie, the ColourPop That's Taupe palette. Do you guys remember this? Oh my gosh. I feel like this was one of the first cool tone palettes that launched that made cool tones more popular. I'm gonna start with the shade Pebble Beach and start pressing that into the outer corner and the crease. I'm actually pressing this pigment into the primer. For this look, I just want to get as much depth in the crease as possible because we are going to be cutting the crease, and patting and pressing rather than swiping is going to give you the most depth. I'm going to take a slightly more pinched brush, still fluffy, and we're going to go in with the deepest shade called Bedrock. And pretty much I'm going to place that the same area that I placed Pebble Beach, but just a little bit lower. I don't want to bring it up too high, but I also want to make sure that after I cut the crease, some of this Bedrock shade is going to peek through. So if I bring it too low, then the lid will look really small, if that makes sense. I'm going to go back in with the brush that we used with Pebble Beach and just with the slightest amount of pressure, just start blending the edges a bit. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of the actual shade Pebble Beach and just make sure we don't lose that. So I'm just adding a tiny bit more around the edges of Bedrock. All right, I'm going to catch this eye up to speed and just pretty much copy what I did on the lid on the lower lash line. Just take Pebble Beach, smoke it all the way across, and then take Bedrock tighter to the lash line, and then we'll move on to the fun part of cutting the crease. Okay, so before I move on to lashes and mascara, I wanted to blend the lid shade with this outer corner just a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to take this shimmer from the That's Taupe palette called Cold Blooded and just press that where those two shades meet. Okay, eyes are finished. I really like how they turned out. Nice and glam. They're not perfectly symmetrical, but you know, we tried our best over here. I'm gonna do just a couple last minute touches. I'm just gonna add the tiniest little bit more blush. And then I'm going to take some of my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I have the shade Light. I'm just going to go around the edges to blend the blush. And I'm also going to put a little bit under my eyes as well. I do want to go in with a little bit of the On It shade from Maybelline, the deeper brown, just to add a little bit more dimension. I feel like my under eyes need a little bit more coverage just because I am so tired today. So I'm actually going to try to go in with this powder foundation from L'Oreal. See if that helps to conceal some of this darkness a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that helped. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Powder Foundation. I have the shade 120 Vanilla. I want my under eyes to be nice and bright. And last but not least, let's go in with a gloss or lip oil. These are the e.l.f. lip oils, the Glow Reviver lip oils, and I have the shade Rose Envy. I really like the applicator on these. They're nice and bendy. They're really flexible. So yeah guys, that completes this fall glam cool tone makeup look using all drugstore products. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you like the look. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and I would love to have you back, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!